This is a Dayton 24/7 Now Code Red weather alert.
And that code red alert has now become massive breaking news as we know that tornadoes have touched down in our area tonight. That includes in Logan County, where we're hearing some of the worst reports of the damage.
Yeah, at this hour, we do know there is a mass casualty situation happening in Logan County at the Lakeview Indian Lake area. That is exactly where our Jenna Lee Borick is live for us tonight. We want to send it straight out to her because she just got to that situation. So Jenna Lee, walk us through everything you're seeing right now.
Yeah, Elise and Adam. So I'm at Russell's Point here in Logan County. And as you can see, there's already heavy machinery because of the damage that they're having to clean up. We're going to try to walk around it and not get in their way. But you see immediately when you arrive that there are downed trees right behind us as people are trying to clean them up, as well as on both sides of me you start to see damage to roofs. It looks like a roof on the ground or something that's down. It's really hard to tell if it is actually a roof. But here, right over this way, you do actually see a house that has massive damage to it. And I'm not sure how close they're going to let us get because, again, we're not trying to get in their way here. But as you come through here, you can just see all of the debris laying on the ground, and as they're getting it to the side and trying to clean it up, crews are doing their best to work as quickly as possible. But it is tough to even get through here to see all of the damage that this tornado has caused. But I can tell you, just from what I can see right now, trees were blocking the street, other debris is blocking the street, and so we're going to work our way and try to get down here as much as possible. If Jared can get a closer view of this house right here, that's the one we're seeing with the most damage right now. And again, heavy machinery is out here. We were told that there's going to be a press conference probably shortly. We don't know an exact time right now. I'm trying to get a confirmation on that. And we're going to be getting more information from that press conference. But right now, again, heavy crews out here, heavy cleanup, debris all over the street. And we're going to get more pictures for you as soon as we can get down here and stay out of their way.
Hey, Jenna Lee, I don't know if can you hear us, Jenna Lee?
Yes, I can.
Can you just describe the amount of people that have mobilized out behind you? Do you have any idea how many people have come out tonight to try to clean all this up and help?
I mean, right now, yeah, Adam, it's a lot because right now I see at least 7 or 8 trucks behind me. I would say if I had to guess that it's going to be about at least 20 to 30 people if I'm really looking down the street and what's behind me. So there's a lot of people out here already getting things cleaned up. But it's a big effort right now with a lot of machinery.
At this point, generally, can you tell, is it just first responders? Is it also neighbors helping neighbors at this point? I mean, who all is involved in this recovery effort?
Yeah, right now I'm seeing mostly first responders, but I do see some people in more casual clothes, not in, emergency gear or anything like that. So I would venture to guess, I haven't confirmed yet, but I would venture to guess that there are some neighborhood people out here trying to do a little bit of help as well.
All right, Jenna Lee, thanks. We'll be checking back in with you in just a little bit. That is a prime example, as you saw there, the outpouring of support that's already coming out there, because that's only a sliver of the type of damage that we have been reported on throughout the evening tonight in Logan County, that there have been a confirmed report from Clinton County Emergency Management that there is a mass casualty event along Indian Lake, we believe from a mobile home park.
Yeah, we certainly do. And we heard reports of that for quite a while. We tried to confirm it, but as you mentioned, the Clinton County EMA confirming it. Now, we do want to send it out to Stephanie Dupre from our sister station. She is also in Logan County tonight. She's at a different area than where Jenna Lee Borick is. So let's send it out to Stephanie. And Stephanie, what are you seeing where you are? Do we have Stephanie on? There we go. Okay, so we are working to get Stephanie Dupre from our sister station live on our air. Are you able to hear us, Stephanie, at this point? Okay, so at this point, she's at another location. We've got some crews working on in the background. If we can actually send it over to somebody else, that would be great at this point, because I can't talk about this situation because I don't know where she is. Again, as Adam had mentioned earlier tonight, all hands on deck in this type of situation. So let's send it out to Darke County, where Matt Digby is at this hour.
My shoulder shaky is not going to work. Should not have walked this far down.
All right,
okay, so real quick, I wonder, can we come back out on the desk here just to reload here? We're in an area in Logan County, by the way, that obviously cell phone signal is going to be difficult. Live shots are going to be challenging as well. So we're going to tell you really quick what we know this evening. As we mentioned, the Clinton County Emergency Management confirming there was a mass casualty event on Indian Lake between Russell's Point
and Lakeview.
So that is some of the stuff that we know right now. We also know that there is a triage set up at a hospital in that area. I believe we have Gwyneth Falloon, who is out there in that vicinity. Gwyn, are you at that hospital? What are you seeing?
Adam, I just arrived here in Bellefontaine at the Mary Rutan Hospital. I'm outside of the emergency department. We know that people and patients have been brought here. I spoke with Logan County Sheriff's Dispatch just about an hour ago, actually. We know patients are coming here. There is triage here as well as in Lakeview. I do want to just address something, though, that I've been seeing on social media, Facebook in particular. We've seen a number of posts, saying that the hospital itself needs help. They're asking for volunteers. They just posted Mary Rutan Health taking to Facebook tonight just about 25 minutes ago to say, and I quote, "Mary Rutan Hospital is not in need of medical personnel. We are fully staffed with our full team on standby." Now, I'm going to be out here for the remainder of the night there. I've seen a few ambulances coming in and out, no lights on, though. No, they were not flying in here, anything like that. But I'm going to be out here. I just got out here to the scene. The roads, they are wet. We got turned around with the GPS. Again, cell signal is not great. But as soon as I learn anything new, I will let you know here on air. And I'll also post some things on social media, but I'll send things back to you.
Okay, so actually I do have an update from AES Ohio talking about the St. Mary's Rockford tornado damage. 5,000 customers in Logan County right now in that area are without power. Extensive damage in St. Mary's Rockford over multiple semi-trailer trucks on Route 33, damage at Indian Lake. They're asking everyone to please stay away from those downed power lines. Now, we do have, again, Matt Digby, who is out in the Darke County area because there was a potential tornado in that area as well. Yeah, also a lot of reports of damage there as well. Matt, do we have Matt? Can we go out to Matt for a second there? Matt,
at the intersection of Horatio Harris Creek Road and Martin Road in Darke County, just a few miles east of downtown Greenville, we had gotten reports of multiple houses being destroyed due to the damaging winds and the storm that came through a few hours ago. I'm going to step out of frame here. There is still a road closed sign and a barrier. That's Martin Road. You are looking south, and we have confirmed from multiple locals that were driving by earlier tonight that there were down power lines. In fact, a roof has been blown off of a church. However, we have been told that there was no one in the church when that occurred. The church was vacant at the time, but there are also trees, a set of woods not far from the church. The trees have been blown off the ground and are currently on the ground. Also important to note, at its most populated, this intersection alone, there was about 15 or 20 people at one time. I'd say roughly about an hour ago, but in the last 15, 20 minutes, all those people have since left this intersection. Normal traffic has resumed. And again, this is about a few miles east of downtown Greenville, so east of US 127, not far from Ohio Route 121. But again, we are hearing reports of a church roof being blown off, but again, no bodies in the church. The church building was vacant at the time the roof was reportedly blown off. Live in Darke County, I'm Matt Digby.
All right, Matt. Well, obviously it is dark out tonight, so a lot of this damage, as we've seen in the past, we will not see the full extent of until the sun comes up. In the meantime, we do have a team of reporters out there right now. We certainly do. Do we want to try to send it back out to Stephanie Dupre from our sister station? Let's send it back out to her right now.
Some of this damage as he zooms in here. I'm counting, if we're crossing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I can tell you now just over a dozen homes here are brutally damaged. Some of this damage looks like it's going to take a long time to recover. So yeah, it's pretty significant. Like I said, it is really dark. We're going to try to head over there to see if we can see more. But again, we're going to see if we can find some of those folks who had to go take that shelter and make sure that they're okay.
Okay, so this is actually a live look right now. This is where General Boric is. You can see that large amount of first responders in the area. They are actually working to clean up that situation. If you're in that area, honestly, I'm going to give a piece of advice. I know ODOT has been giving this advice, and I know that the Logan County President and CEO, the Indian Lake Area Chambers of Commerce President and CEO is asking everyone to stay off the roads right now. Crews are trying to clean up the area. So if you're driving on that roadway, it is making it a lot more difficult for them to do that. We did speak to her earlier, and she gave us a quote. Amber Fagan is her name. It's that she says, our Lakeview municipal building is demolished. Our laundromat is gone. Everything is just completely demolished. As we know, this is a live shot. So this is our crews on the ground are getting situated to do another live look for us on the ground. But it is an incredible sight out there.
Well, and to put in perspective, when you go to a site like this, you and I both have been on them. There's a lot to take in. There's a lot to see, and we're there because we want to get confirmed information to share with you about what happened. Now, again, if you're just joining us at the top of the show, we mentioned the Clinton County Emergency Management Service. They have said that this is a mass casualty event in Lakeview. That, again, if you're not familiar, it's in Logan County. It's right on Indian Lake there. It's a very small community, just a little over 1,000 people. So a community where likely, everybody knows everybody. So this is a situation that we're still trying to gather information on. So again, it's a very fluid situation in times like this. Natalie and Nick were on since, I believe, 5 o'clock today?
Since around 6:45,
yeah. It was when this started firing up. We had multiple indications of tornadoes tonight. That one that we saw in Logan County being one of the worst and most devastating that we've seen with our eyes so far this evening. Matt Digby out in Darke County, again, we mentioned that we have damage there as well. But again, this is a situation that's continuing to be fluid throughout the evening tonight.
Absolutely. And of course, I just want to make sure that I say this before we toss it over to our chief meteorologist. The Red Cross has established an emergency shelter for those living in Logan County who were affected by this. Really, anybody living in the northern counties affected. At 1000 East Brown Avenue, it's the Bell Fountain First Church of God. And they will continue to provide updates throughout the rest of the evening and overnight hours and early morning hours as well. But again, Red Cross setting up that emergency shelter tonight. But we do want to send it over to Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters, who's going to kind of give us a recap of what exactly we saw tonight.
Yeah, we have been tracking storms from about 6:45 from this evening, as you had mentioned earlier. So I wanted to show you the two tornadoes that right now we know a tornado made its way through Logan County. However, this made its way through Mercer County, through Auglaize County. Not quite sure if it was on the ground this whole time, but then it made its way through Logan County, and there you could see exactly where it made its way, right over Indian Lake in the Lakeview area, north of Bell Fountain. Russell's Point was there too. This is where we did see that tornado, and this is where they're looking at right now. So what we're looking at here are the winds, inbound and outbound winds. So we're seeing the rotation within this tornado. We also saw what is a debris signature with this. We saw debris lofted in the air, and it was lofted up to 15,000 feet in the air. So we know that when it's lofted that high, that this is a very destructive tornado. So there you could see it right between Stokes Township and Russell's Point. But along with that, we also had a tornado in Darke County. So this started back off into Indiana and then made its way into Darke County near the Greeneville area, north of Greeneville, and then traveled its way eastward. There is some damage there, not quite as significant as what is up into Logan County, but certainly any damage from a tornado or a severe thunderstorm is something that is not what we want to see. This made its way eventually into parts of northern Miami County as well. So it was a very busy night. You could actually see the radar view of what we saw make its way through. Heavy rain, lots of lightning, the damaging wind concern. We had a lot of reports of some very large hail as these storms made their way through as well. Again, through Darke County, Shelby County, and then of course into Logan County, and eventually we saw some storms making their way into parts of Champaign County too. Quick look, this is what's going on right now. We still have some showers around. The severe threats mainly to our south. You can see just a sliver of parts of Warren and Clinton County under that severe thunderstorm warning, but for the most part I think we could say that the severe threat is ending for the Miami Valley.
All right, Natalie, thank you. We want to go back out to our live reporters there in Logan County. We want to start with Jenny Borick. She is at one of the hardest hit areas.
Yeah, I'm at Russell's Point in Logan County, and as you can see behind me, there is a large pillar that's down right here. Cleanup crews just moved out, so we're going to show you the damage as best as possible, but it is dark. Over here to my right, you're going to see a house with a roof just absolutely torn up. Now, what the cleanup crews were doing when they were here was they were really just trying to get this road cleared because, as you can see, there is such large debris. I mean, this is like an entire tree that is downed, as well as power lines that are downed. So once they got this road cleared, they pulled out. They're moving into another area. We were told the worst of the damage is starting about a mile down the road toward Lakeview, where a mobile home park was very, very badly damaged and hit. So we are going to head down there so we can get you some live pictures from there. Elise, Adam?
Jenny, thank you. And I do want to come back out to Adam and I here at the desk. We just got a email from Darke County. It's saying Darke County, the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of reading this live on the air. So they received reports of funnel clouds, possible tornado on the ground in the area of State Route 571 east of Union City, Ohio. They started receiving around 8:34 multiple calls reporting structural damage to trailers, homes, other structures. Injuries and entrapment also came in. Damage appears to follow a path across Darke County, Ohio, west to east from Union City to Bradford. Multiple homes and structures along that area, right? Horatio Harris Creek Road, which is where Matt Digby is right now in Darke County. And first responders have been searching houses and structures in the path of the storm. Some of the rescues of entrapped people were affected, and at least 2 people have been transported to by EMS, to Wayne Healthcare with non-life-threatening injuries. Again, this is a very important note here. No reported fatalities at this time in Darke County. So that is very, very good to hear. They are saying that they are planning for damage assessment to start in the morning, obviously during daylight hours, but they're going to continue to be out. Some of the area roadways will be closed and they will be patrolled throughout the night by deputies, and obviously going to be assessing the damage in the morning.
Yeah, like we've been talking about, this is going to be something that we're not going to know the full extent of. We might not even know it by tomorrow.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of, this is spread out over a very large area, a lot of smaller communities. These are some live pictures. You can see the rain still coming down over the damage. This is in Lakeview, is my understanding. That is the area that was some of the heaviest hit. You can see not first responders, but you can see some crews out there that are working in that recovery part of this situation.
No, something interesting, Adam, that you had mentioned earlier, I'm so sorry, is just how small that community really is.
It is. It's about 1,100 people.
Right.
So, you think about communities like that, everyone knows each other. And this, again, if you're just joining us, was the community that the EMA confirmed had a mass casualty situation. That is why we were hearing reports of a triage being set up at a local hospital nearby that area. So the scope of this devastation is still being figured out as we speak.
It really is, and like you mentioned, it's really not going to be, I think, truly assessed for days to come. I know we keep mentioning, or we had mentioned, you and I were both here for the Memorial Day tornadoes almost 5 years ago. You were here nightside as it was happening. I was on the morning show then, and I just remember as daylight hit, you really don't see the damage in the dark. You do, but you don't. And as daylight hit is really when we had a good idea of exactly how destructive those tornadoes were. And I have a feeling it's going to be very similar.
Yeah, you fear the worst, but you hope for the best.
Absolutely.
And we do have a team of reporters out tonight. We want to go to another one. This is Gwyneth Falloon. We want to talk with her now. She had stopped by that hospital that was reported to be set up as a potential victims from the Lakeview area. Gwen, what can you tell us?
Adam, that's right. I am here at the Mary Rutan Hospital in Belle Fountain. They have actually asked us to move a little further away, off of the property. I want to bring you a closer look at this scene. We're going to take a closer look. You can see there are orange cones set up. I was just speaking with some local medical professionals. They actually don't work here at this hospital. They work at the Community Health and Wellness Partners in Belle Fountain. They were called in around 10:30. They said that anyone who was available was asked to come in. They are telling me that they are going to be setting up a unit where those orange cones are. Again, I'm here at the Mary Rutan Hospital. We also know that there is triage that is set up closer to Indian Lake and Lakeview, where the brunt of this storm hit. We are waiting to learn a little bit more, but we've seen a number of cars coming in and out. We've seen a number of different ambulances from not even Belle Fountain, Lakeview, just other jurisdictions, and they, I'm told that they believe they are here to help out. Again, we were asked to step a little further away to give them some room to work, but we do know that they are planning on setting up a unit where those cones are set up. We also know that there is another triage set up in Lakeview. I'm going to be out here for the rest of the night kind of monitoring what's going on. As soon as I have an update, I will let you know here on air and online, but I will send things back to you.
Hey, Gwen, real quick before we let you go, we'll be checking back in with you, of course, but can you just describe for us, because you did, your previous live shot showed a view of the hospital itself before you were asked to move. Can you just describe what the mood was like there? Did you get a sense in that time that you were there of, was it chaotic? Was it relatively calm? What was the mood like there?
That's a great question, Adam. Yeah, we were just over there just a few minutes ago, and I will say things seemed eerily calm almost because of the reports that we've been getting about the damage, the injuries, even the casualties as we've been hearing. The doctors and nurse practitioners that I was standing and talking with, they were kind of just waiting around, waiting for some direction. That was kind of the sense that I was getting. We were asked to leave relatively quickly, but things are eerily calm out here. That's kind of how I would describe it. I was just looking at the GPS actually to get to Belle Fountain from where we are at Mary Rutan to up towards Lakeview. It is about a half-hour drive, so I'm not sure what is going on there if they're sending people up, but definitely an eerily calm vibe to answer your question.
All right, Gwen, thank you. Now, Adam and I are joined now by, if we can add Nick and Natalie to the shot here, we just want to kind of get your guys' thoughts, your guys' feelings. Obviously, you are the weather experts here in our area at this station, obviously, and kind of walk us through, Natalie, I know for you, you were tracking this all day today.
It was one of those things, we have forecast models that we look at, and there was one in particular that looked very concerning, and that's what caught my eye eventually. But of course, the setup that we had in place was just conducive for potentially some long track tornadoes like what we saw. So it was about 6 p.m. or so, we started seeing storms firing up back off into Indiana, and those were approaching our region. Eventually, we had that first warning issued in Mercer County, and then that one just continued on. And it's one of those type of events where you have so many things going on at the same time. Then we had that tornado warning that was down into Darke County that was issued. We had a tornado warning in Wayne County that was issued at one time too. So a very busy night. I know it's a very scary night for the viewers at home. And a very sad night for those that have been impacted by this as well. But Nick, you came in pretty much right as that first tornado warning was issued as well.
Yeah, it was probably right away. We went live to live. We were live for about 5 or 6 hours. That's when the longest we've ever turned. I will say this, when it comes to these situations, we always talk about having a plan. We always talk about make sure you know where you're going to go. As we saw, this is a case where if you had a plan, you put yourself at a best chance of survival. Look at some of the damage that we're getting from those photos. So this is out of the Lakeview area. Again, this was a long-lived tornado. This started on the Indiana-Ohio border, went all the way through Mercer County, went all the way through All Glaze. Now, that's not to say it was on the ground every single second during that path, but you had ample time to get to your safe spot if you were watching, paying attention. That's why warnings are so key. That's why watches are so key. And again, I think the big message is going forward, at least for right now, is stay away from this area. And something that I've always been told is if you do have family and you want to get in contact,
right,
text. text, because text is easier. It doesn't bog down the towers. Obviously, we're out there. You know, we need the signal. The emergency crews need the signal. It doesn't need to be bogged down to call your friend from 3 years ago. Shoot them a text. Obviously, you know, you hope that they're okay, but the last thing we want to do is have emergency crews not be able to get in contact with each other.
Natalie, I want to ask you a quick question, and they just kind of zoomed in here, so it's going to kind of be null and void at this point. But when you see trees, you mentioned this earlier in the evening, when you see trees the way that we have been seeing them tonight,
Right.
What does that indicate to you?
When they're just ripped clean, you know, it was a very strong, you've seen it with the Memorial Day tornadoes. A particular tornado, when I was in Arkansas covering Mayflower Valonia tornado, had a very similar site. Now, of course, we're not going to know the full span of the damage until the National Weather Service comes out tomorrow. They're going to survey the damage, determine exactly what happened. But I think from the images that we're seeing, I don't think we're getting the full picture of what happened. I know there's a lot of places that we can't enter. So I know you said this earlier that we were thinking the worst, but hope for the best. And that's exactly what we're doing here. Hopefully when the sun comes up tomorrow, maybe it won't be as bad as what